All right, so it's good to be back. It's good to be here. Movie trivia is kind of one of my favorite things to be a part of, or compete in this case. So this should be fun. I don't really know who my opponents are. I don't think we've met each other before. Maybe we have. I just don't remember. It's been a long day. But other than that, this is going to be fun. Let's play some movie trivia, put points on the board, and have a little bit of fun while we're doing it. So let's get into this thing.
Look, I'm basically I know we're here for trivia, but I'm just here to talk about my band Boner Pills. You can follow us on Instagram at the Band of Boners. And we do have an EP out called Three Atlanta. There is a track on there called Post Nutty. So I implore you all to listen to Gas Station Boner Pills. Also
Shut
movie.
the fuck up, Donnie.
All right, let's start this again. So I'm super excited for this match. The last match I was in, I won, and I out after the fight got a double TKO against my opponents because the question was ruled wrong. That there's no fuck ups like that today, Henry. So,
Hey, yeah, I'm surprised I've actually made it this far. So, but I'm just here to have fun and, yeah.
Yeah, it was like an echo. It was really cool, but also really scary.
I remember when that
Yeah.
match.
It was. I was like, is he stuttering or?
I
or
heard him,
what-
but no, he was like a DJ.
Yeah, it was really cool. So Sam, if you want to dip out and come back in or check your chords on your audio, it was just a weird. It was like and then and I was like, what the hell?
And
Like it was cool, but it was creepy. But anyway,
Also, Steven needs to calm down on the trash talk.
I know Steven definitely fucking. We don't call him verbal Kent for nothing.
Too far. You went too far.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to There Will Be Trivia Singles. My name is Henry Confidential, and today we have a special guest host, Jordan Pierce Owens. Make sure you check out his channel, The Pierce Show. No,
You're a good friend, and you're so close. You've been on multiple times. The Pierce Co. is the channel. Show about trivia is the shows, and you'll see a lot of lovely people on here that you see on here.
well, when you've been subscribed as long as I have, you haven't actually needed to look at the actual channel name. You just look at the show name because that's what's on the feed. The channel name is like this big if we're really looking on like the actual thing. But anyway, make sure you check him out. More than likely, you're familiar with him, but just in case you aren't, check out the Pierce Co. A show about trivia, ASAD 139 or whatever they're on now.
We're getting there, man. Getting there, man.
But with that said, today we're on There Will Be Trivia, and this is going to be an interesting one. We have a higher ranked match, so if you've already checked out on the channel, singles, myself, John Mayer, and Mayer, I did it on purpose, and Will Cohen, we did our quote-unquote top, and then now this is the second tier of top-tier ones. We have Ryan Permison, Steven Shepard, and Sam Wilson. On the official stats for today's match, Ryan comes in at 1 win, 1 third place finish, which is ironic, but he also has 2 KOs, so he has a total of 7 points, and he's coming in with a strength of the Back to the Future trilogy, so definitely going to be a lot of fun with him. Moving over to Steven Shepard, he has 2 first place finishes with 2 TKOs and 6 points, and he has a strength of 90s. And then we have Sam Wilson, who has 1 first place finish and 1 second place finish, as well as we're looking at. It's so small on my doc. Don't judge me, guys. 2 TKOs. Next time I'll actually have it printed out so I can read it better. But 2 TKOs and a total of 5 points. And the Spider-Man trilogy is his strength. Obviously, if you guys. This is just for the people here. They don't know why I'm reading that, but on screen there'll be like a little card. It'll look cool, and it'll be like, oh, whatever. Just like with the rules, everyone judges like, oh, be right back in 5 seconds. Then when you watch it on edited, never mind. I've been drinking. Jordan Pierce Owens. So with this said, going into this match, on paper, these aren't like the quote unquote heavy hitters that you see amongst all the leagues, but they're highly ranked in There Will Be Trivia Singles right now. Is this a match that you feel like is just going to completely go under the radar in terms of like how great these players are? Or is it one of those where these guys are here for a reason and people should really start to notice?
I think it's a good mixed bag of both. I think all 3 of them will pleasantly surprise us tonight. I have faith in all of them. Steven says surprised me a lot in the past, man. If it's in his wheelhouse, that dude knows his stuff. I've seen Sam do a lot of cool stuff, and I've only seen Ryan here a little bit, but he also has put in some good effort. So I think it's also hard to say who the favorite is personally, because I truly think it could be anyone's game.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've known Ryan for a long time. I've known Sam probably about the second longest, but still not that long. And I just met Steven, but I'm hanging out with him all the time on like ASADs or something like that. So I definitely know that he knows his stuff in terms of like round one level stuff. Steven, obviously, amongst the three, is the least prepared for formatted trivia, just like you in a sense, where it's like we know you know your stuff, but the format and the strategy isn't quite there yet. So I'm definitely curious to see how he's going to handle, these two veterans amongst the Trivia League. So with that said, we've done our enough talking. So before we bring them in individually, let's go ahead and see the rules to round one. All right, first up, we have the quote unquote the tiebreaker, the guy who is in higher ranked in the leaderboards. First up, we have Ryan, the quote Permison. Ryan, you ready for this match?
I was born ready.
That's a good quote. Next up, we have a man who is of little words. I definitely would not call him the quote. Some might call him verbal, but it's ironic. Steven Shepard. Steven, how you feeling about this match, bud?
We'll see what happens. I'm just here to have fun.
There we go. And next, we have the biggest boner of them all, Sam Wilson. Sam, how you feeling, bud?
I do have a pretty big boner. I was gonna say that the main thing about the fact that I did last matches, and now I'm up against some of the best league, which is really intimidating. So. But I'm to have fun. I'm here to party.
I'm going down.
Party.
The entire time that I'm laughing, I'm just thinking of all like your TikToks where you see the video. It was like, oh, what's it like with your Tourette's or whatever? It's like, man. I'm like, oh God, I'm sorry. It's just funny. Like I love you and I respect it, but it's funny, and they know it. That's why they produce content. So you will be this week's TikTok TWBT movies TikTok, and it's like, oh, comment below. What do you have in them? Say next. With that said, you guys all know the rules, so let's go ahead and get right into it. I have no idea what's gonna make the final edit of this one. JPO, do you want to go ahead and read the question? The first question. Oh my God, let me take a drink.
Take a shot, take a drink. Everyone else take a sip of brew if you have to. But if not, get ready for your first question. In actor filmographies, who appears in the following movies? Gone Girl, Vice, and the 2009 Star Trek.
And just a reminder, Ryan, because you're so close up to thank you. Just because you're so close up to the screen, I know you, but it's for everyone. And we're deep into this league now. We're trying to build respectability.
Never a personal shout out if we ever have to say that. It's just a general thing for everybody. Steve Mason, that's to you.
There we go. I love how you say it on my channel, but not yours. Boom roasted.
I do off air.
4. You'll do the countdown
when he's not in the room
for your own questions.
Oh, okay. 1, 0. Ryan.
No idea. Neil Patrick Harris.
NPH, Steven.
Tyler Perry?
And Sam.
Tyler Perry.
It is, oh my god, Tyler Perry is correct.
Geez, that makes a lot of sense. Yep.
Diary of a Mad Black Vulcan. Your second question in the category of history/biopics. What 1990s biopic tells the story of Gary Conlon, who, with several others, were wrongly arrested and convicted as terrorists for an IRA bombing that occurred in 1974? So I know you're not familiar with this, JPO, because in the editing, let's just put it this way, I'm not going to want to write all that shit. So as I'm reading that in the edit, I'm like, all right, what is the most important information that people are going to want to see on screen? And that's probably the hardest part of my day, or at least it will be next week when I'm editing this. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to go over to Steven.
Just a guess, but is it the boxer?
Same director, Sam.
I just wrote the movie, The Crying Game.
And Ryan.
No idea. Passenger 51.
Different Jim Sheridan, Daniel Day-Lewis collab. We're looking for In the Name of the Father.
Unfortunately for you guys, I now have to show you my Crying Game. So, sorry. Let's go to the next question. You can edit that out. In fantasy.
That might be the opening clip now. Way to go. That's becoming a thing now. People's like, what could I do to become the intro?
Just trying to show your little in fantasy. Who directed 2019's Aladdin?
Can you show me your answers?
in 5-4, but not quite yet. How long do I give him?
It's discretion. You know,
Doesn't
you
last-
didn't bring your stopwatch. You're not prepared.
I know. I don't know where it is. It's bothering me actually because I got wrestling trivia here soon.
Oh, shit.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Steven.
Guy Ritchie.
Sam.
Guy Ritchie.
And Ryan.
Queen Sweet, Guy Ritchie.
Don't tell me if it's right or wrong. I'll tell you. But it is though. Clean sweep, Guy Ritchie.
No. We're gonna tell the audience with that ding, you know, in post. Question 4 in the category of the 1990s. Steven's strength. In what movie would you find characters Smiles a Lot, Stone Calf, and Black Shawl?
No, I named my cousins.
Yeah, I don't have anything. I don't even have a bit for that one. That's like, oof, I got nothing.
Yeah.
So I'll take a sip of Gumball Head. Abel, I'm looking at you, kid.
Is that a beer? What's that?
Yeah, 3 Floyds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna start with Sam.
I was confused by this question.
Ryan
I said Little Giants.
and Steven.
Is it The Little Rascals?
Looking for a little Oscar-nominated movie, Dances with Wolves.
Oh,
Oh,
I never saw it.
You're probably doing
Makes
something right in
sense.
your life.
Oh, okay.
I will dance on over to the next question. In sports, what year saw the release of the sports films Caddyshack and Raging Bull?
Of the two, which would you prefer? I feel like I have a guess.
What's your
Well,
guess? I want to hear your guess.
I legitimately think Caddyshack is probably your preferred of the two.
Not at all. Caddyshack's fine. Love Raging Bull.
Good answer. Caddyshack sucks. Raging Bull. Honestly, it's teetered off as time's gone by. It's not as rewatchable, but it's still hell of a performance. From
It's not something
someone.
I've seen a lot. I will admit it's probably like a twofer, honestly, but the twofers were good orders. That's
There
not
you
a
go.
word. 5, 4,
That's a word.
3, 2, 1. Sam, what you got?
Okay, Sam too.
No, I mix things up.
oh, I said 1981.
Let's see what Ryan says.
I said 1983.
Steven.
1980.
That is correct, actually. 1980. Steven will get
Wow.
the point for that.
1980.
Everyone
wow.
in the
Jeez.
ballpark, but Steven in the field for the ball
Jeez,
hitting.
Good pull.
You know,
man.
you know, it's the best when you ever have a decade or you ever have a release dates question. Someone's in like the wrong decade, and it's like not even close. Like, your next question.
1935.
Yeah. Now I've seen ones that are like 3 decades off. I'm like, you don't even know what we're talking about, do you?
Yeah. Have you ever heard of movies? Your next category is Oscars. Who won the Oscar for Best Actor for films released in 2014?
Those damn Oscar ones where you have to go, okay, wait, so that means
Yeah.
the movie came out here and they won it here. Unless it was a limited release, then it was, it was wide release.
Yeah. Well, if you know Oscars, then you really just get an idea of like, all right, that year is those groupings of types of movies, and you know that movie probably was, you know what I mean? So sometimes whatever.
I only know the Sylvester Stallone movie, Oscar.
I know a guy named Oscar. He's in my fantasy football league. 5, 4.
Repeat the
3.
question.
All right, that's your first. The category of Oscars. Who won the Oscar for Best Actor for films released in 2014? So just clarification. Lead actor, release date 2014. That is Sam's first repeat / extension. Just a reminder, because you guys, you know, it's not as common amongst the leagues. If you just want an extension, you need a little more time to think. You want a little preferred silence. Sometimes you say silent extension, aka shut the fuck up.
Did I start that?
No, but you definitely
No. Oh,
you definitely have a highlight moment. 5,
I just wanted some credit.
4. But who is the titular character in Bride of Chucky? Can we talk about that?
There's
3,
2. The Bride of Chucky. I
2,
will go to my grave.
1. Pens down. We're going over to Ryan.
I said Colin Firth.
Next we have Steven.
I know the answer. It's the guy from The Theory of Everything, but I couldn't remember his name.
You wouldn't be able to walk that one off. Sam.
I think it is a. But I wrote Matthew McConaughey.
It is Eddie Redmayne. Eddie.
Was Eddie
Theory
Redmayne.
of
All right, good pull,
everything,
man. Good pull.
You got it wrong, but yes, good. Yeah,
Good almost pull,
Good
yeah.
ballpark. Good ballpark.
He was there. He just,
Couldn't remember his name.
All right, going now to someone's strength, Ryan's. We're talking about Back to the Future. And Back to the Future Part 2, which is 2. In the alternate 1985, Marty returns to. It is revealed that Doc from that present day is where? I'll say that again. And Back to the Future Part 2. In the alternate 1985, Marty returns to. It is revealed that Doc from present day is where?
So do you a favor. I'll either edit out the entirety of the first attempt, or I'll edit out that cut where you had that gap,
Yeah.
and no one will know that you stumbled. Or I might do like a millisecond. So
It
people
makes
can-
sense in the end, but it was worded weirdly to me.
No,
with my
I say this
eyes.
all the time. There's one of two situations. Either I didn't write the question, or I hadn't read it in a long time, and I wrote it a while ago. So
Yeah.
rereading it, I'm like, what the fuck did I say?
No, in the end, it made sense, and I just at first it tripped me.
9 out of 10 times it usually does, but then there's every once in a while you're like, "Eesh, I need to rewrite this shit."
And then sometimes it's a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ryan, it's your strength. What you got?
He is committed to a mental hospital or an institution. He's committed.
I believe that's exactly what we have. Steven.
I said insane asylum.
All right, and Sam.
I probably won't take this. I said in prison.
Not except prison.
That we definitely can't
Okay.
take. But Steven's good, right?
Steven's good, yeah.
Yeah, we'll take the first two.
We don't want to technically judge and say insane, but they do qualify as insane. Your next category is in the 1970s. What city do all of the Kramers live in at the beginning of Kramer vs. Kramer? Fun fact, I have one match, aka now, where I just read this for the first time, and Kramer vs. Kramer's brought up. I have another match that I didn't write, that I read the doc, and I was like, oh, wow, cool, Kramer vs. Kramer question. So now, do I replace that because we're doing too much Kramer vs. Kramer? It's a different question, I will say that. We'll find out in 5, 4,
I never saw this Michael Richards film. Any good?
2, 1. We're going to go to Steven.
I have no idea. I just said San Francisco.
Sam.
I also made a wild guess and said Detroit.
And Ryan.
I said Chicago with them Bears.
You guys picked a bunch of major cities. Unfortunately, you didn't pick the major city or one of two major cities. New York City.
Oh, it was the Big Apple. Okay.
I'm a big fan of the Big Pear, but whatever.
Okay.
Going over to Spider-Man, or as some say Spider-Man, Sam's strength. In Spider-Man 2, the accident that causes Dr. Octopus's robotic arms to fuse with his nervous system also results in the death of which of his family members?
Would you consider your nervous system a family member? Because this could be challengeable.
Well, you just gave him a good challenge, so what can I say, Henry? I hope no one puts nervous system.
If you said no, then it would not be good
No,
challengeable.
no one
See,
do
that was
it.
a test. I was literally giving you the application to the admin group, and you threw it away.
Oh, I mean, I had it once and then gave it to other people. 5, 4,
Facts.
3, 2, 1. Steven.
His wife.
My wife.
My wife. No. I make the bad Borat. Sam
Yes, his wife.
and Ryan.
I'm not even gonna try. His wife.
You're
I can
literally the quote. How did you not try a Borat?
I can only give it.
I just can't. I can't.
I can
do
only
it.
give it to Sam.
Yeah.
He's the only one that said it right. So
Honestly, Steven couldn't do it if he tried. That was a
Yeah.
test. Try, Steven. Let's go.
Try,
Let's go.
try.
Your final question in the category of recent releases. You've all been alive during these. Nicolas Cage's character, Robin Feld, has retired from what profession in Pig? Fun fact. 2 fun facts, actually. My ex-wife, Pig. The other fun fact, I just got done watching the Simpsons movie. There's a pig in that. But
Spider Pig. Spider Pig.
does any of that have
Whatever
to do with
Spider
the
yeah,
Pig
profession
does.
Spider-Pig does.
of this character? We'll find out in 5, 4, 3, 2, Juan,
Spider Pig. Spider Pig.
Ryan,
I have no idea. Police officer, maybe?
Steven,
Don't have it.
You don't have a guess? And Sam,
I'm glad I was just a few months ago. He was a chef. I believe.
Oh.
cooking up, not the lead, but a tiebreaker. Chef is correct. So with that, after round 1, Steven has 5. Sam took the lead over Ryan with 4, and Ryan's at 3. So now we don't have to make decisions of tiebreakers and all that stuff. So before we go into deciding who's going first, second, or third, and getting those wheels, here are the rules for round 2. All right, so Steven in the lead has elected to go first. Unfortunately, JPO is a member of this league, so we are not going to be hearing his voice throughout this entire time. He's just going to be doing some, I don't want to quite call it filibustering, but a little bit of talking with me. But with that said, Steven, you ready for your first spin?
Yep.
Spin is in. Spin
It is in. Your first landing is not quite the 90s, but is the 2000s.
I'll keep it.
He's going to stick with the 2000s. So just a
Okay.
reminder to Ryan and Sam, steals on whiteboards, and we're going to go to the 2000 right now. All right, Steven, you ready in the category of the 2000s?
Sure.
All right. In X-Men, The Last Stand, the final battle with Magneto and the Brotherhood takes place in what U.S. city?
Well, I believe it's Alcatraz in San Francisco.
That is correct for 2 points.
Darn it.
I had no idea Alcatraz was in San Francisco, so I'm glad you filled me in on that information.
I only remember that because of the bridge scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gold Gate Bridge. Yeah.
Big 2 points there as I drop my dock. Your second question in the category of 2000s. Who directed Drag Me to Hell?
Sam Raimi.
Darn it.
That is correct for 2 points. Your third question. The titular villain in Austin Powers in Goldmember is from what country?
Multiple choice.
Is it A, Switzerland, B, Denmark, C, the Netherlands, or D, Belgium? And 5
I'll get a repeat of the answers.
options. All right. Is it A, Switzerland, B, Denmark, C, the Netherlands, or D, Belgium?
Belgium?
Unfortunately, that is incorrect. Is it A, Switzerland, B, Denmark, C, the Netherlands, or D, Belgium? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ryan for a 1 point steal.
I said B.
And Sam.
I said the Netherlands.
Abel would be proud. It is, in fact, the Netherlands. Shout out to Heineken.
Come on, he's freaky dicky Dutch.
Your fourth question and your final question. What 2000s biopic tells the story of free spirit Christopher McCandless ending with his unfortunate death?
Into the Wild.
We were looking for Into the Gray, but we will accept Into the Wild.
My mind was thinking of Call of the Wild. Thank God that wasn't me.
Yeah, right. All right, so a pretty good round for Steven, bringing him up to 11 to Sam's 5 with that steal, and Ryan's 3 going over to Sam's spin right now. Sam, your first spin
What
is
are you
going
hoping
to
for,
land
Sam?
on the category of Spider-Man.
Oh, pass. You're gonna pass, right?
I'm gonna take it.
He's going to web it up because he just webbed in his pants for Spider-Man. All right. Aren't you glad? Orange, you glad? I tried. Your first question in the category of Spider-Man. How many Spider-Man films does J.K. Simmons play J. Jonah Jameson?
Five.
That is correct for 2 points.
Wow.
He didn't fall for the old post-credit trick. Your second question. In The Amazing Spider-Man, what does Peter reveal Flash Thompson's real first name to be?
Eugene.
Nerd. That is correct for 2 points.
Great
Hey,
pull.
comic.
That's a great pull.
Your third question. In Spider-Man 2, who plays the receptionist who refuses to pay Peter for the pizzas?
Emily Deschanel.
Holy shit, that was impressive.
God.
Who?
Yeah, I was ready to pounce on that one.
That
I
was
know
impressive.
that- I know that because I watched Bones.
Yeah.
Oh, Emily. Okay.
I
Not
almost said Zoe, and I caught myself actually.
nice.
Well, you can catch yourself on question 4. In Spider-Man Homecoming, how much does Mr. Dalmore attempt to charge Peter for a sandwich after asking a question about his daughter?
Okay, I will need multiple choice for this one.
All right. Is it A, $8, B, $10, C, $12, or D, $14?
I'm gonna say $8.
That is incorrect. Is it 8, 10, 12, or 14? 5,
Expensive ass sandwich.
4. Well, don't talk about his daughter. 3,
Mm.
2, 1.
can't
We're going to
help
go over to Steven
12.
and Ryan.
I said C.
Both of you said 12. Unfortunately, he did not get the foot long. He was looking for the 10. The $10
Okay.
sandwich. All right. So, once again, another good round for Sam with an impressive pull. And that I already forgot. I had to look at the doc to remember her name, Emily Deschanel. Now we're going to jump over to Ryan with the score currently 11-11. Sam and Steven, Ryan at 3. So, he's got some makeup. He's got a lot of ground to make up, but he's got some points that he can do it with right now.
Hoping for a good wheel spin here.
All right, Ryan, your first attempt at this wheel is going to be sci-fi. Almost Back to the Future, which technically is sci-fi. Would you like to keep it or spin again?
Risk it. Spin it again.
All
Ooh.
right. I don't know if he's got the gravy,
See,
but he's definitely
we'll
got
see.
the biscuits. Risk
See if
it.
it pays off.
And you land on the 1990s, Steven's strength. So they might be, it might be a decade you like, but it also might be strength level questions. We'll find out right now. All right, Ryan. I almost said Steven just because it's your strength. Are you ready for your category of 1990s?
Yep.
Your first question. Mel Brooks plays a character named Rabbi Tuckman in what 90s comedy?
I'm not seeing it. I'm gonna go multiple choice.
All right. Is it A, Life Stinks, B, Robin Hood Men in Tights, C, Dracula, Dead and Loving It, or D, Screw Loose?
Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Ding, ding, ding. Give him a point.
Okay.
Is Screw Loose even a movie?
Maybe, maybe not. Maybe fuck yourself. Your second question, the category of 1990s.
Isn't necessary.
It's a clip. How is Howard Payne killed at the end of Speed?
Oh, they're on top of the train. He gets hit by one of the lights that chops his head off.
I'll accept that. Decapitated is the phrase that we're looking for, but yes, head chopped off is enough information to give you 2
Okay.
points.
Where's Payne? He lost his head. Yeah, love that movie.
Your third question. Who plays the role of Dennis's neighbor, Mr. Wilson, in the 1993 adaptation of Dennis the Menace?
Walter Matthau.
You son of a bitch, you got it right.
It's a grumpy old man, that guy.
All right, so here's the situation. You have 1 question remaining. Your 2 fellers to your right. Well, yeah, to your right. They're at 11. You're at 8. So if you hit it for 2, you go to 10. If you hit it for 1, you go to 9. If you miss it, you have a chance to steal and do the math. Your final question, the category of the 1990s. What is shut up. All right, on the screen. What is used as a weapon to ultimately defeat the Martians in Mars Attacks?
I have an idea, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna go multiple choice.
All right. Is it A, television static, B, a song, C, water pistols, or D, aluminum foil?
I'm gonna say it's a song.
It is a song in the form of yodeling, to be specific, for 1 point. All right. We have ourselves a match, folks. It's going to go under the radar, and people are going to be sleeping on you guys, but you guys are doing your job. 11 for Sam, 11 for Steven, 9 for Ryan. So we had our random. We had our chance. Now it is time to go into the strengths. And here are the rules for round 3.
Alrighty, Ryan, your 2-point question. Who plays all the on-screen members of the Tannen family in the Back to the Future films?
Repeat the question.
All right, so repeat. 2-pointer. Who plays all the on-screen members of the Tannen family in the Back to the Future films?
Oh. Okay, I misunderstood. Thomas F. Wilson.
We have a tie game across the board.
Good repeat there.
There he is. So, Sam, you are the lower ranks. We're going to start with you first. Sam, 2 points in Spider-Man. Who plays Alistair Smythe in The Amazing Spider-Man 2?
BJ.
Can you say the rest of the name? You just did that cutting out thing.
BJ Novak.
There we go. I heard it. I heard enough to give you the benefit of the doubt there. Yes. That is correct. BJ Novak, in case the
I'm
audience.
glad that was you because I would have definitely said Smithy.
I'm a big fan of the 90s animated series. So
I remember the character.
Yeah.
I forgot. Once you said I knew. That's why I knew you were right. Once you said it out loud.
All right. JPO hit Steven with his 2-pointer in the category of the 1990s.
Steven coming at you with some 90s here for a 2-pointer.
And then Steven, hold on. Steven, just put him up. Just yet. Thank you.
Who plays the titular character in Dick Tracy?
Warren Beatty.
I bet he knew that answer. That is correct. Sorry, guys. I'm out of here. For 2 points. We're going to bounce back over to Ryan for 3 points and to take the lead over these two fellers. In Back to the Future for 3 points, Ryan. In Back to the Future Part 2, what is the exact name of the drink Marty receives in Cafe 80s?
Ooh. Pepsi Perfect?
That answer was perfect for 3 points. All right, so now we're going to bounce back over to Sam once again because he's lower ranked. JPO was 3-pointer in Spider-Man.
In Spider-Man 2, on what specific type of structure does Spider-Man and Doc Ock first start fighting before the infamous training scene? Let me say that again and edit this out. In Spider-Man 2, on what specific type of structure does Spider-Man and Doc Ock first start fighting before the infamous train scene?
A clock tower.
That's correct. And that time, that was your fault, Henry.
That was my fault. I did have starting in the doc. Ironically, I rewrote that question and still fudged it up.
Starting fighting.
Starting fighting. Actually, I was just doing a Sam there. I was just doing a Sam before I knew he was doing a Sam. Starting fighting. All right, we're going to bounce over to Steven for his 3-pointer in the category of the 1990s. What type of events are the main characters traveling to in Las Vegas to report on in Fearing and Loathing in Las Vegas?
I'll do repeat.
That's fair. What type of event are the main characters traveling to Las Vegas to report on in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas?
I've never seen this movie, so I'm just gonna guess like a convention.
Unfortunately, that is incorrect. We're looking for a motorcycle race. So with that said, we're going to stick with Steven for his 5-pointer. He has to hit this to avoid coming in third. No TKOs amongst the crowd, but to guarantee himself potentially points at least. With that said, JPO hit him with his 5-pointer.
Steven, is your 5-pointer in the 90s. In Natural Born Killers, what one thing do Mickey and Mallory do almost every time they commit a mass murder?
Dance.
Can't quite accept that. Looking for, they always leave one survivor to tell that story.
So with that said, Steven unfortunately is going to be in third place for this match. So now we are going to bounce over to Ryan for his 5-pointer because he is behind Ryan, are you ready?
Yep.
You have to hit this to put yourself in a position to come in first. If not, you will be coming in second, and Sam will be in first. For 5 points in the Back to the Future trilogy with 2 extensions remaining. What are both events Doc suggests before setting the time machine to November 5th, 1955 in Back to the Future?
The signing of the Declaration of Independence and the birth of Christ.
For 5 points to take the lead, we are going to be bouncing over to Sam. Sam, you have actually your 5-pointer, which the doc was a little higher up, so it looked like it might have been 3. But you have your 5-pointer. You have 2 extensions remaining. If you hit this, you will be in first place for this match. If you don't, you will be guaranteed second. So no harm there. JPO, hit him with his question, and regardless of his answer, leave a pause and let me announce the winner. Go.
What state does Liz say she and her mother are moving to while her father is on trial at the end of Spider-Man Homecoming?
Just to take it, I'll go ahead and mention.
Alrighty. You want to hear it again or just extension?
Sure. Well, go ahead and give me a repeat, actually.
All right, let's give that to you one more time. What state does Liz say she and her mother are moving to while her father is on trial at the end of Spider-Man Homecoming?
I'm going to say Oregon.
And your winner, Sam Wilson, with a first place finish. Oregon is in fact the answer we were looking for.
Wow.
So with that said, we have a final score of Sam 21, Ryan 19, Steven with 13. So before we go into specifics, congratulations to you all. You guys did exactly what I said at the beginning of the match. It's going to be a very under the radar match that people are going to see. Like, you guys are no slouches, and I'm excited for that because that's what There Will Be Trivia brings. But now we're going to jump into 1v1s. Put a little post talk. We're going to start off with today's first place finisher, Sam Wilson.
Well, first of all, in all seriousness, both Steven and Ryan were really great players. Like, I had to bring my A in order to come in first, and I'll also acknowledge I got my strength in the wheel spin. That in like Spider-Man, like I think you guys see this and has been my strength for all these matches for a reason. I really do know these movies. That shit about the cost of the sandwich. That was the one. It's a deep cut of like. Well, like I remember the scene, just not the actual dollar amount, and I was actually pretty confident about Oregon from that. I wanted to take as much time to like really think through it, but I will say Steven and Ryan absolutely brought their A games into this was anybody's game. This was really close the whole time.
Yeah, I like that. So with that said, only 2 points because no TKOs, which is probably good because you're getting some good quality matches and some good experience. But how does that make you feel knowing that there's one match remaining going into the tournament to solidify not only your position within the tournament but also your specific seedings? How does this match, prepare you for that?
Well, it just feels like I feel like the higher up I get in the center role, the better the tougher opponents I'm gonna get. So I have a feeling not gonna, even if I win my next match or if I don't win, I have a feeling it's not gonna be a runaway victory for me. So I'm just happy to to just place anywhere in the tournament, to be honest. And I think that I think I'm showing, for people who maybe are kind of sleepy, that I know what I'm doing and I belong here. But I've also had a fair amount of luck, so.
That's what I like to hear. I mean, it's one of those things, like we say, There Will Be Trivia is a format that it's not completely original in terms of like, oh, you don't know what to expect and it's so bonkers off the wall, but there's enough structure where you have the random in round one, you have the general in round one, you have the random, and you have the strategy in round two, and then you just have the do you know can you back up what you say? And you did a little bit of everything. You generally were in a position after round one, you randomly got your strength in round two, and you backed it up once again in round three. So it's just one of those positions where you, like you said, you got your strength twice in this match, and you still did not have a TKO or knockout. So that shows how well your opponents performed today, and that's actually a testament to not only you as a player but also them, and I'm definitely happy to see that. And like I said at the beginning of this match, all three of you have been slept on in this league, and going into this upcoming tournament, I feel like wherever you guys all rank, people are going to sleep on you guys, and I definitely don't want that to happen because I know that you guys can all bring it. So congratulations on your first place finish, and I can't wait to see you in this next set of matches and in the tournament, bud.
Thanks, man.
One last time. Ryan Nicole Permerson, talk about a player who's had a wild, just season so far in There Will Be Trivia. You have a match where you have a double knockout. You have a match where you kind of got whooped and came in third place. And you had a match where you literally almost came in first in a barn burner. Generally speaking, what are your thoughts on your performance within this season going into your final matchup, which will potentially lead you into the tournament, as well as just how you feel as a whole today?
Well, that sounds good. To be honest with you, you're right. It's been a whirlwind. I've been all over the map. I've come in third, second, first, like all over the place. But in terms of my performance in this matchup, I feel really good about it. I got, Back to the Future questions, felt really good about them. I needed a repeat when I used my repeats when I had to, and I did the respin in round two because sci-fi is deep. It's a deep, broad category, but 1990s is a little bit more in my wheelhouse because I'm a 90s kid at heart. So pretty much had a good feeling that the 90s, I'm thinking, all right, 90s films, I got this. So I'm glad I did the respin because respins can really bite you in the keister depending on where it lands. But the wheel was very nice to me today. So thanks, wheel. Appreciate you. But yeah, this was fun. Look forward to coming back soon.
Yeah. So last but not least, just add on my question there. Going into your next set of matches, you still get one more point. So you're already highly ranked. So you have a legitimate chance going into the tournament to be one of the top 4 or 5 seeds. Do you feel any pressure going into this, knowing that you are an underrated player now that you're at the top, or is it still one thing that you just feel you're going to continue going under the radar and you're just going to let your actions speak for themselves?
I think I'm just gonna continue to go under the radar and let my actions speak for themselves. When I answer questions, put points on the board, it's great. And if I miss something, it happens. No one, very rarely is anyone perfect in these leagues. So you just got to play the cards you got, and hopefully the categories are in your favor. And if they're not, it's okay because I don't know everything. I'm not very good in certain categories. I have strengths and weaknesses like any other competitor in these leagues, but I'm just going to put my best foot forward, answer questions as best I can, and use my repeats or extensions, if you will, when I have to. So I'm just going to take it one match at a time, one opponent, X amount of opponents at a time, and see where it falls.
That's what I like to hear. So I'm excited to see how you're going to finish the regular season moving into the tournament. Man, I'm definitely excited to see it, buddy. Congratulations on almost first place finish, but having a good turnout nonetheless.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And man, that was a great pull at the end there with that 5-pointer. Jeez, great pulls, guys. Great pulls. So my hat's off to both competitors. Wish you guys the best moving forward in these matchups.
There you go. And last but not least, we have Steven Shepard. So once again, I guess my main question is, I kind of touched it at the beginning of just you with the inexperience in terms of the formatted structure. Do you think going first was the best choice in hindsight, or is it one of those things where at the end of the day, the wheel's going to do what's going to do regardless of your position with the spin, and you kind of stick with your gut there?
I went first because if you don't go first, you run the risk of losing out to a category that you might want.
I mean, you're not technically wrong there. So that's there. I guess another question is, generally speaking, 90s is so broad in terms of a strength. Is it something going into the season that you technically regret signing up with that one, or is it one of those things where you've seen so many movies from that decade that if you get one in your wheelhouse, you're gonna crush it, and it's worth the risk of potentially getting one that like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas that you just hadn't seen?
Well, to be honest, I actually meant to say I said 2000s and 90s, 2000s action and I meant 90s action, but I'm okay with 90s overall too, because I have seen a lot of 90s movies.
Okay, well that's fair. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, clearly you got enough of your questions where it's like, all right, yeah, it's close enough. So we know your stuff. It's just one of those where it just wasn't quite there today. So we know even in a third place finish, just like in my third place finish that you just saw on the match before this, high scoring and depending on your opponents, which we're all at the top for a reason, that third place could be second place, maybe in first place in some given matches. So nothing to hang your head on. Going into your final matchup in the regular season, do you have any strategies that you're going to change, or is it once again just you're going to do what you're going to do and let the cards fall as they may?
Yeah, I will admit, I used to have I'm such a huge fan of the movie Trivia Showdown. I kind of had aspirations to, maybe one day make it into there. Of course, then they announced that that's coming to an end. So now
all that means is there's room for the next league to take over. Woo!
Bing bong.
So I'm not saying I don't want to win, but I'm just in it to have fun now.
There you go. Well, that's what I like to hear. So with that said, it was a pleasure seeing you, and I can't wait to see what you do in this final matchup, buddy.
Thanks.
All right. So with that said, JPO, you're doing a good job of potentially getting that application for this admin. You were a great co-host there. Can't quite give you round 2 yet because you're not quite a co-writer, but you are a member of this league, and I'm definitely excited to see you on the desk. What are your final thoughts on this match, bud?
No, I think you said it, man. We kind of called it, man. I think everyone put in tremendous performances. We went into round 3, truly anyone's game. That's always fun to see when it's not just one-sided and you're kind of like, well, this guy won it, but we got to keep going. Always fun to see it, truly not knowing who's going to win it here. Nail biter, not knowing, Oregon, if he had it or not. He pulled it out. He saw he had his strengths here. As you said, Steven getting used to the format. Maybe he wants to be less broad next time because that's something that the other two had. They were one category. Back to the Future, Spider-Man. 90s, you never know what's going to get thrown at you, and I've learned that lesson too, you know what I mean? So I understand where he's coming from. But tremendous game by all three. Looking forward to seeing more from them all.
There you go. And so as always, if you made this far in the video, you probably liked it, so you might as well drop a like if you hadn't already. Make sure you join the Facebook group. There will be movies. I can't remember if I changed the name. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and make sure you go
follow.
It's
your channel, man. How do you not know your own channel?
It's the group name. I changed it recently. There will be trivia line home for online movie trivia. So make sure you go ahead and join that group so you can just stay with us in this this community. But also you make sure you go and follow us on TikTok and TWBT movies, because we'll be posting random clips throughout the week from different matches that we record. So with that said, shout out to JPO for co-hosting with me. Make sure you check out his channel, The Pierce Co. ASATs picks and list, and then podcast about wrestling, or is that over on Movie Here Network? No, it's over there. So what is those the only 2 shows you do?
No, we also have Countdown. We do a top 10 of
podcast, and then
sometimes we'll do movie reviews, and then we have the wrestling trivia over at the Pierce Wrestling channel. Two channels.
That's what it is. So make sure you check out all that stuff. And also special shout out to my fellow admins, John Marr and Will Cohen, as well as our ghost admin, Brian Michaels. With that said, my name is Henry Confidential. Congrats to Sam Wilson, Ryan Permison, and Steven Shepard in a fantastic match. My name is Henry Confidential. That's JPO. Show up next episode because there will be